Welcome to Let's Be Real. It's another episode where we have interesting conversations, and as usual, we have the most interesting host and a surprise one for you this episode. Of course, I'm with our usual suspects, and of course, myself, CEO Charles Otieno, and the beautiful lady, the doctor, the princess of the show.
I'm a true princess. No, one day I'll tell the viewers, for real, blood princess. But for now, I'm here as CEO and founder of Samantha's Bridal. At Samantha's Bridal, we connect people and cultures by helping them truly navigate and truly celebrate life's greatest moments, such as our wine here. Today I'm having the white. This is one of the best-selling wines, actually. I hear it's flying out of the shelf from all the stores. So make sure you get a bottle. And I'm also a mentor. I am a reality star. And here I and we are being real. Yes, and I'm being real.
You're every
today.
woman.
Yes. Before we move to our guest host, let's see.
Thank you, CEO. Hello, everyone. My name is Collins. At this point, I feel I'm a regular here. I've been here more times than you, Dr. C. Okay, no, not really. My name is Collins. I'm a makeup artist and entrepreneur. I struggle to pronounce the word because it's entrepreneur with a small e. She is an entrepreneur with a big E. I am a baby Dr. C. You can call me Dr. C too, but with a small D. So I do makeup, I do, yes, Dr. Collins, you know. I do makeup, I am selling makeup products, I sell healthy stuff like the macadamia nut in front of you. All of this we can find on my Instagram. We shall talk more. Nilikuwa niseme tu intro, right? Yes. I wasn't supposed to go into a monologue.
You're taking.
No, I just turned into Maya Angelou. Wole so ying.
Let's have the
okay, sorry, take over. Yes.
Oh my goodness, I am going to have a wonderful time. How are you? My name is Georgina Mbera. I am a TV host, an award-winning TV host at that.
Ooh, do tell.
Yes, sir. I am an event host, your favorite MC. And of course, I bring your brands to life because I'm an influential human being on social media.
So we have an influencer, a doctor,
Yeah.
a CEO, and a makeup artist.
Yes.
Well, let's dive in. Today, let's discuss the first topic. It's very interesting that there are many people who are claiming that they are trapped into either marriages or they are trapped into pregnancy. A man, you're dating this chick, and all of a sudden, you find yourself you're married and you didn't plan to get married. Is it easy for a man to get trapped that way?
Well, I think I'm going to start there.
Yes.
You know, what men don't actually understand, and I think I said it last time,
Yes, you did.
is that we make these decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You take the
So,
lead.
for the ones who just happen to be enlightened, they call it to be trapped. Some don't even know.
You're trapped to begin with.
But on the other hand, you know, is this thing of men, you have your organs. What do you think? It's basic biology, how children are made.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, even grade 5s now, I think they learn how children are made. So what do you mean you're trapped?
But also,
can
to
be
be fair, you know,
trapped.
biology is not compulsory in schools. It's
No,
selective.
unless you're saying you are irresponsible and you're not taking responsibility of your biological functions of your body. So you cannot be trapped by children.
Right.
Yeah? Maybe circumstances sometimes can trap you, but at the end of the day, we're free human beings. You can just walk out.
Yeah, I agree. First of all, it is true that women trap men with pregnancies. Yeah, but this is 2023. We cannot be faulting ignorance. Like you can actually Google all of these things. We talk about ovulation. Yeah, you women are going to trap you during that ovulation. You need to learn about basal temperature, as in all of these things are basic. So don't feign ignorance, and then it takes two to tango. You are there getting down and dirty.
You want me to start asking, are you
No, you're not going to ask.
No.
Do your own research also.
Yes, and
Do your own
protect
research
yourself.
And protect
Yeah.
yourself. Like, nobody is telling you
Take
don't
control.
strap up. Strap up. Okay? And if you're not, there's
Or
also a pill.
vasectomy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or vasectomy. There's also the morning after pill. Just sit there with your person and make sure she takes it. Okay?
You know,
And if she
the
takes
other
a fake
day,
one,
No,
But
you
buy
buy
her.
it.
You buy her. How
Yes.
about you? If you're
You
not
will-
stopping up, then make sure you've bought a pill.
So we have medical apps like My Dawa that you can order drugs, right?
Precisely.
Yeah.
you know, the other day I was at this party and I got shocked at this parent who was telling me that so many, especially in the African community, especially the affluent, how many men are actually doing vasectomy when they are really through,
Yeah.
so
And
that
they
they
don't
can
even
cheat
tell.
on their wives.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that freedom in marriage? Or is it?
What is that? That's not freedom in marriage.
Yes.
Oh, wait, they do it behind the spouse's back?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But listen, guys, you think, I think we are taking this thing very easily. Men, sometimes you do not sign for that relationship in a certain way.
Why? Like she came with a gun?
When you walk into a relationship,
Yeah.
it's a progression of you are friends first sometimes, or you just want to have a good time, or you're just keeping each other company.
Yeah.
But this woman turns into a Venus flytrap. Have you seen that Venus flytrap?
Yeah.
How does it work?
The Venus flytrap, the way it's set,
Yeah.
a fly lands on it.
And
It's
then
a
it
very
shuts.
beautiful flower, but it's a carnivorous plant. So now you are thinking here, this girl is like, we are just friends. This girl has planned the
Sangia
wedding,
you.
the marriage, you are
Yes.
in the house.
Yeah.
You just came to fit in as a
You are that
puzzle.
fly.
Yeah.
You just land on that fly in the Venus flytrap, and you are sucked out.
Yeah.
And that's why it is very difficult for young men, because they do not understand what you're saying, that you know it takes two to tango. Yes, it takes two to tango. But you are a campus boy of 20 years. You're just having good time, and then you realize all of a sudden you're married.
So that happens. And it is very unfortunate. So then what happens to communication?
That brings us to our next topic of communication. I saw someone online commenting that all these big shots from Bill Gates was left as soon as she made money, she left him. Who else was divorced as soon as George Bezos, I saw. And then so he was asking the question, what is it? What are you bringing on the table? What are the
As
women
a
bringing
woman,
What is
on
the
the
woman
table?
bringing to the table?
On the table. You know, sometimes you're being trapped, but there's
Yeah.
a lot you're bringing on the table. So what are you bringing on the table? Should relationships be weighed through the eyes of what are you bringing on the table, especially for women?
First of all, I find that question to be quite bigoted. Let's first agree there's no table to begin with. Okay? Even when we go back to the Bible, when it talks about leaving and cleaving to one another, that is quote unquote building a table. So there's no table there. Sawa. So get off your high horse first, thinking that you've already constructed this table. I'm the one who's coming to put things and embellishments on it. That's a lie. So there's no table to begin with. And I, as a woman, I'm bringing everything necessary to make that table.
What are you
I'm
bringing,
bringing compassion. I'm bringing trust. I'm bringing loyalty. I'm bringing fun. I'm bringing time management. I'm bringing companionship.
Yeah.
You know? Everything that is required. So if all of this is going to make the four legs of a table, then what are you bringing to manage at that table? I find it quite bigoted for men to ask that question. What are you bringing to the table? You know, it's almost like you have already constructed that table. It's almost like you're giving me a favor. It's a favor for me to be your girlfriend or your wife. Doesn't make sense.
90% of those things, remember, you can also buy them.
Fine. If you can outsource those things, congratulations. And stop asking women what they're bringing to the table. If you know damn right that you're going to outsource them.
I think the
Create your own table, live by
answer
yourself.
should be, the answer should be, if a man ever asks you that, it's like, I can't see any table, and if there's one, throw it away.
Precisely.
Let's create
Build another one.
But that said,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
actually even the bigger question was, is it the women who determine the destiny of their own families? And for me, let me tell
It
you,
is.
I will tell
Yeah.
you, a big yes.
Yes, it is.
And you know, it's one thing the men actually don't understand, that the kind of woman you marry is going to
very, very
determine
important, yeah.
how wealthy you're going to become or how poor you will really become.
Yeah.
True.
Or even just, even the promotions you get at work.
Yeah.
If the conditions at home are not really good, then you're not going to excel. So it's our job to create that harmony even at home. But also the other thing, and I find that a lot of women don't know this, that you can actually marry that money, get married to that billionaire, but he actually ends up poor because of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't have that vision, that, and I always say, how your family lives really truly will depend on you.
On the woman.
Yeah, because women, our minds are so conniving and so in these ways. I find the men's minds are very so
Unilateral.
straight, and so sometimes they're not prepared for these
Up and down.
not even these conniving things that women do.
Yeah.
And there's value in that.
That's true. And we also have
Yeah.
intuition, something I feel like men don't have.
The intuition.
What do you
yes.
mean? We
No,
don't have intuition. What
no.
do
You don't, no, I don't
You don't
think
have
you do.
intuition.
I feel attacked.
No. You keep being attacked. You do not have intuition.
Women are really, because we are nurturing, we are meant to look after the family
Yeah.
and all that, not in the sense of physical defense, but so we can feel the things because of the way our brains are wired. So sometimes you may, as a man, you may marry a woman who is not like bringing money on the table,
Yeah.
but she's gonna multiply
Yes.
everything you have if you actually listen to her.
And she's going to give you the best ideas that
Yeah.
only
we,
you
we,
can
we agree
implement.
that women should not, we don't mind women coming to our lives. It's a plus to have a woman who can help you make that money, who can organize. What we like is that organization ability at the home front. A man might be very successful on the public front, but the home front is a mess.
Yeah.
The basics being that we are not structured in that way. We are structured just to look at the career, education, and buy land. You'll ask a man and he'll tell you he has tracts and tracts of land, or he's built a house where and where, but he can't have proper furniture in that house. So they're just halls. So this order is what women bring to that, to that house. But women should also understand that our view of life is totally different. For us is to accumulate. For you to make sense out of it. Ours is not to accumulate, and you come and tell me what is a curtain. Curtain.
Doesn't make sense, yes.
It doesn't make sense to me. I would buy black curtains in the house. You'll think it's looking very bad.
Yeah.
Like I was telling her in the makeup room earlier, for me, I want someone who's stable. I don't want a project. I'm one of those people who get married to someone older with more money. Not because I want the money, but because I don't want a project. If we are mad at each other, please take your Ben 10 or Ben 14 or Ben 15, go on holiday, and don't use our joint account because you have more money. Mimi, let me be sad on the balcony with wine, 4 bottles of Samantha wine.
It's true.
You be happy on the balcony.
Exactly.
So Collins, you've decided you're going to get married now. You've always said you don't want to get married.
When time comes, so I'm giving myself like 10 years.
Ooh,
Yes,
that's a long
when I'm
story.
40.
But again, communication is key. To be
Yes,
honest, 'cause
communication.
A lot of people are getting into marriage with very warped,
Yes.
views on marriage. Somebody's going to get into marriage for security purposes. Somebody's going to get into marriage for financial stability.
And that's all
Somebody's going to
okay.
get into marriage so that their brokenness is healed. You
Yes,
understand?
and that's okay, but they forget
But
to
90%
communicate.
of Nairobi women
They
get
don't.
into marriage for brokenness to be healed.
No, that's what we
that's
assume.
True. No, actually, that's true, to be honest.
But also that's what we assume. Some
Nairobi
are
is a
just
small
looking for.
space, huh?
Yeah, Nairobi,
We need to
everyone.
expand the city.
Yeah, Nairobi,
I guess, and
everyone.
that's where now addressing
Or-
your traumas come in. Because
Yes.
if you're coming in as a broken person, you're coming in as a broken person, I think you'll be the loneliest people in a marriage because you're not solving each other's problems.
Have you seen, Georgina, have you seen these skits or pranks where men with cars are pranking chicks in the city?
Yes, yes.
90% of those women enter those cars by the virtue that they just realize this guy has a
Has
car.
a car.
And the rest, and if the girl enters that car, she's ready to go all the whole way.
Yeah.
Others are even willing to leave their broke husbands.
Yeah.
So money actually revolves in this
Yes.
city.
Also, historically, Dr. C, because she's one of the most read. Those are the two most read people on this panel.
Why are you assuming? It's because you know me today.
I know you are very well read. So historically, and I stand to be corrected, historically, marriage was so that people could live there. Marriage was a means to an end, right? Historically, people would get married off. I mean, even recently, you've had in the news girls as young as 7, because I had 7 kids. Someone is coming out to the cameras saying, I have 7 kids. My daughter, I cannot afford to feed them, so my daughter had to go, I had to reduce the workload. Yeah. So marriage has never been, historically, in our African society, marriage has never been looked at as a dance. It's a transaction where we enter Georgina, Yule Anatulipa, and we need to improve our economic situation.
Okay, so now just to summarize that marriage thing, marriage was always, first of all, procreation.
Yeah.
To improve and make sure the human race continues as a way of inheritance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, to pass on wealth to the next, mainly procreation. Yeah.
Procreation?
Yes. Love.
It's true. And
Procreation,
longevity of the
yes.
family tree.
Procreation. This thing of romantic love, yes, it's there. And it is there, obviously, but
it's secondary.
actually,
Yeah.
it is meant to last just up to copulation. After that, men are wired, go. They
Gosh.
leave you there to look after. Honestly.
That's why I tell you, people at home, marry up. Check that bank account.
So, Georgina?
Ingia ai taxi yake.
I don't know. I don't believe that after copulation, that's it. I feel like people should, grow together in a marriage.
We are talking about the traditional
Traditional, yeah.
setup, actually how it was. It was a transaction, like you said.
Yeah.
But
It was
it's
how
for
we
procreation.
can, procreation,
Yeah.
how we can keep peace. You marry in that family, therefore we are together, we are related, things
Well,
like
do I
those.
need to reduce the number of people in my house?
That's all fine and dandy. That's all fine and dandy. But I also am a believer of love and creating something special for me. Okay, regardless of whether we
Celine Dion.
So on that note, I think we're gonna have to take a break.
Yes, we will.
We're gonna take a break. We are being real, and we're going to come back with more real stories.
New Superstay Vinyl Ink from Maybelline, New York. Shake up your longwear with no budge vinyl color. Color lock formula. Up to 16-hour wear. New Superstay Vinyl Ink, Maybelline, New York.
Welcome back to the show where we are being real. And now we want to talk about the dynamics in blended families. So there's this gentleman who is complaining about the dynamics that are going on in his family. So he's married this lady who has 3 other children, and together they have 1 child. So apparently, when the baby daddy of the first 3 children comes to pick them, he takes his younger child, and he's not comfortable with it. He feels disrespected, and he thinks so that this other baby daddy should just leave the child behind. So guys, what do you think? Is he being petty?
I
Yes.
think the man
No.
is extremely,
Being petty.
Who's being petty? Who's
extremely petty.
the father?
The
of
main guy
one
now.
child?
Shall I go over that again?
Yeah.
So, a blended family dynamics we're talking about. So there's this couple who's married, this lady who came into the marriage with 3 children.
Yes.
And together they have 1 child.
Yeah.
So that making them 4 children. And therefore, he feels disrespected when the baby daddy of the first 3 children, who is still very much involved in their lives, comes to pick them for his time to be with the children. He picks all of them,
And
He
all
is
the
being
4
petty.
children,
Okay.
and he goes with them. Now, the main guy, in
The
this,
husband
the
now.
husband
The
now,
husband,
he's feeling disrespected.
No, he's being petty. I
that
Get over
his
yourself.
child is
Yeah.
being. So, what do you guys?
He needs to compartmentalize. He
Right?
needs to differentiate between a me issue and a them issue. The kids, this child only knows that unit.
Yeah.
Those are the siblings.
Yeah.
How they got to be a family should not be an issue the child needs to deal with right now. They're still a child. Protect them at least. Let the child enjoy. I doubt the child cares who the real dad is. At the end of the day, to the child, you're still the real dad.
Yeah.
That is Uncle Nani. Yeah.
I totally agree with him because at the end of the day, you know, adults need to set aside their emotions.
And to go to therapy.
And to go to therapy. These are children we're talking about. It's not, oh, those are your kids, these are my kids. Why are you intruding on my... No. You're actually now going to have this child alienated from his siblings.
Yes.
Because you do not want another man
Yes.
who is very willing and loving, clearly.
And then at 16, unaanza kuuliza, I don't know how they became an alcoholic. I did everything. And they grew up in a stable family.
No. I feel like he's being petty and he's also being quite childish, in my opinion. He should allow the children. It's not a matter of the mother, the other father. No. Let the children get to know each other. It is you to facilitate that family bonding.
Yes.
the
Also
best
communicate
way
with
possible.
that guy.
Exactly.
Communicate. Relay that message.
So
Tell
if,
him,
if he has some form of insecurity,
Yes.
maybe he's feeling a bit almost like he's going to be bulldozed in one way or another, it's unfortunate. But also the wife needs to step in and say, this is my ex, okay? There is no relation whatsoever between me and him other than we co-parent these 3 children, okay? So it's also up to the woman to assure the husband that, bro, take it easy.
Yeah.
There's nothing between me and my ex. This is just for children. Assure him also, you
Yes.
know? Don't go about life thinking like, he needs to get over it. No.
CEO, you
the
look
man.
like you have something to say.
I was thinking, well, the guy is, of course, childish, but in African setting, I think if you have already had these 3 kids with this woman, I would ask this man, what went so wrong that this woman left your house with 3 kids?
3 kids.
You know, it's not 1 kid. It's not 2,
3.
3.
Yeah.
We are talking of 2023, where a woman decided to live with her 3 kids, get another man to marry her. And this man has taken this woman with 3 kids. If this man was also providing in his house properly,
He probably would not have.
this woman would have not left with his kids. So now is when you are deciding, this man has decided to save the wife and your kids from probably what you're doing wrongly. Now you've decided now is the time you want to be picking them, to be taking them for dinner outside, and you had a chance in your house with this woman. She bore you 3 kids, surely.
So, if clearly there was a very grievous mistake that happened for a woman to walk away with
Yes,
3
with
children.
3 kids.
Okay,
Yes.
So
but
now
at the end of the day, it's me and you tumekosana. Okay,
it is true.
The kids, au ndio nyasi na hawafai kuumia simply because me and I.
100% we
Yeah.
agree. The only thing is that I'm just trying to interrogate. Is this guy just coming to pick this co-parenting now because I want to make sure that other man feels bad that I'm the father of these 3 kids? Because their message is being sent.
Yes.
Clearly, it is not just because this guy wants to pick his kids. It's I'm going to send that guy a message to say that even if you have my wife, ama kama tuliachana, I can still call my kids plus yours.
Or maybe he has had very many moments of introspection, went over his mistakes, and is trying to do better. I mean, obviously, reconciliation is not in the offing, but he can do better for the kids.
Yeah,
What
but
if
also,
we look at it from that angle?
But also in terms of just being a devil's advocate, I would have actually asked you, and I should ask you, do you think it is the communication this guy is using when he comes to pick the children? But before you answer the question, I just have a comment that, yeah, you've raised a very important point. is it possible that, yeah, this guy must be so irresponsible?
Yes.
4 children.
It's totally irresponsible.
And who should, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you answer the question.
You see, one is the way probably this man must be feeling really bad because of the way this man is treating him when he's coming to pick the kids. There's a way, there's subliminal kind of info which comes in that. I'm coming to pick the 4 kids, but I'm coming to show them that the father you are living with, actually I'm better than him. I can buy you the best gifts in town. I can buy you the best food in town. I can do everything just to spite this man. So it is no longer becomes the children's case. It becomes a case of showbiz.
Yes.
I want to put this man in his place. You might have taken my wife, but I'll show you dust.
Gosh, I had not looked at it that way. It's
Me
so
neither.
true.
It's-
Look, I live with your children.
Yeah.
I feed them. I'm the
Yes,
father figure.
I am the father figure
and-
here.
Yeah.
You are just a boyfriend.
Well,
I see the
I
disrespect.
see where you're coming from.
Yes.
I see the kind of disrespect maybe he might be feeling.
Yes.
Whether non-verbal or, body language or anything.
Yeah.
That's
Or
that can be the case.
Like I said,
these kids might have
communication.
eaten githeri the whole week.
But at the same time, I feel like now
But
the
at
3
least he's
adults,
there.
why
Yeah.
can't the 3 adults then just sit down and talk
Yeah.
things over? Because clearly there's an elephant in the room.
Maybe it's
You
the
see,
communication.
In African culture, what happened was, if someone married your wife, he remains a boyfriend. Because the hardest bit, and this is a Luo or Luya, if you marry my wife and we have 2 kids now, and the kids grow, even if we left each other, and you have another kid with her, as we speak, do you know that those kids will come back with their mother to my home? So in Luo culture, we say, you are just a boyfriend who is
Yeah.
keeping my wife busy.
A boyfriend.
Yes.
Who's keeping? Anyway, who benefits from a marriage?
Yeah.
Maybe I think we should
It's just
discuss
a
that
boyfriend.
with the Collins.
Well, the boyfriend and the husband and the wife and the girlfriend in that
It
scenario
sounds like a whole.
should sit down.
It's a whole club. It
A
sounds
mess.
like a
It's a
WhatsApp
mess.
group.
No.
That one. So now it begs the question. This is what has been eating. Is it eating at my mind? Yes. I've been thinking who benefits in a marriage, and this is in relation to, just to segue from that conversation, in relation to a post I saw online about a 68-year-old man who was cooking for himself. Apparently, he had invested all his earnings in raising his family. His kids went abroad. They have good jobs. And now the mom wants to join them. Baba kachwa peke yake. So now the man is a 68-year-old bachelor. So he's back to his teen years. So now it begs the question, who benefits from a marriage? Because now you see, in that situation, it's like he is single, but the wife did not divorce
See,
him.
She moved on.
Let me tell you, this is a very good, is a classic case of what African marriages are.
Yeah.
African marriages and urbanization is that in the olden days, the Africans used to marry in the villages nearby,
Yeah.
in their localities. And the kids never used to go abroad a
Yes.
lot. What has changed is the fact that, and if you're a man, like me, I always say, make sure you have a bit of money for yourself. Because women, have you seen the way the roads are constructed? And this is an analogy I use a lot. The tractor will always cut down trees, pave the road. The moment the road has been tarmacked, that tractor is not allowed to use that road.
Yes.
Why? They'll tell you that the tractor will spoil that road. So that's how a man's life. A man's life is that when you will carry the heavy boulders, educate the kids, and do everything. And the moment the kids grow and get their own jobs, they'll start telling you, you know, their mother will go to the States. For 1 year, they'll go to the Nairobi. And us men, we are attached to the soil. Men are attached to the soil.
Yeah.
Okay.
In that, where I'm seated here, I'm thinking of my land.
Because you're territorial.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
Because it's
now
your
I
territory.
want to see what has been planted, what can we harvest, the homesteads, you know, those things. But the women do not think that way. They're not wired that way.
Yeah, they invested in their kids.
They've
This is
invested in their
project.
kids.
Yes.
So when the kid moves to states, they want to go to states. So you are that tractor. So that man has just done his duty. He was just a tractor which was making the road.
Yeah.
The road has been paved. Now he cannot use that road.
Yeah.
So he's back to square one. And that's why I always tell men, I support this polygamy thing.
Is your wife listening?
Yes, she's watching.
She's watching.
Mike texted hi, CEO's wife.
This polygamy thing helped African men
Yes.
in that when your wife has decided to go and meet to stay with the kids, you have a young girl there to take care of you. It is allowed. It is not a crime.
I sort of
Well, if
agree.
I can chime in
Yeah.
at that point, I think various things come in here. I'm a child I was raised by my father,
Yes.
okay? And right now, actually I wanted to bring my father today. He's in
He's
town.
in town. You should have.
He's in town. He comes to Texas Cancer Center every I try to convince him to come, that everyone knows you in this town. But I say this, that I think so that the dynamics are changing. There's the parenting. There's just a generation of parents. They would arrive home, they just and the whole household goes quiet.
So there's no personal connection.
There's no
really.
connection. It's a parenting issue. And some parents are actually toxic.
Yeah.
And some fathers were actually toxic. I have an amazing relationship with my father. We sit, we talk, we've become more of friends right now. So we are best friends. So I'm not seeing how I'm living a best friend there. Somebody
true.
I call like almost daily. I want counseling on this and this. I want that. How are you? How does that relationship transit from, yes, I love you, daddy, whatever, to you're busy cooking ugali alone? And you know, I tell you one thing. I think it's people's interpretation. Has that man complained?
Yeah.
Some men at that age just want to be by themselves.
Yeah.
They don't want to be disturbed. They are okay to be how they are. Yeah? So I think the question we should be discussing is, if you allow me to introduce something else on top, is, does it mean so that when women, especially in a marriage situation, when they've already made themselves, they no longer need the men, which is something you've alluded to?
100%. Women walk into a relationship or marriage, 90% of women, unless you have money, education, and skill set. The rural woman walks into this marriage with beauty and trust. And with beauty and trust, the man is swept off his feet and he thinks, oh, this is everything I ever wanted. Then after 6 months, the woman becomes richer, or 2 years, she gets more money, more land and shares and all this. And the woman starts asking herself,
What am I
do I
doing
really
with
need
this
this
one?
guy?
Yeah.
Where was I
Because
looking?
what was I looking? Was I mad even to fall for this thing?
Yeah.
Now you don't become a man, you become a thing. You are a beautiful, handsome young man. Now you become this thing. This thing is disturbing me, it's telling me to cook for it.
You know, when women step into their masculinity, you actually just have 2 men in the house, and that will never work. You know, when I realize that I can do things by myself, I can fix that bulb, I can run my own errands, I can fix my battery, I can buy my own things, I can pay my children's school fees, your masculinity just completely fades away. So sometimes I feel like it's also up to the woman to be cognizant that, yes, I can still do this, but at the end of the day, I don't, this whole thing of the man is the head and I'm the neck, no, I'm the crown, all right? I'm the
No, you're the
crown.
neck. You can't change the Bible.
No, the Bible actually talks about the crown, okay? Twice.
Oh.
So, as in I'm the one who just, let me not say that right now, but the woman, like you, Dr. C, right? I believe you should have your masculine and your feminine in balance to still be married. Because if both of you are masculine, mungekuwa mnachapana every day, yeah? Because He's gonna come with an idea, you're gonna bash him. Do you think you really need to do that? That's in your masculine. And I feel like a lot of women now step into their masculine, feeling that now you can take over. You can do what, I can do what a man can do. You know, that old adage of women can do what men can do better. Yeah. And I feel like that's where women go wrong. When you now completely step into your masculine. Yeah.
Well, also I think because the question is who benefits from a marriage. I think everyone benefits to a certain degree. It just depends on what your expectations were.
Yes.
Like I said, if I was getting married for property and I get the property, then leave my benefit, I have benefited.
That's
yes.
True.
This one wanted someone to bear kids.
That's true.
Like he said, maybe the guy was swept away by beauty and trust. She gave you beauty, she gave you trust.
That's true.
So you benefited. So blame it on your own expectations.
That's true. If
your low expectations.
Yeah.
But also it depends on the lens through which you're looking at everything.
Yeah.
And through the African tradition, especially in societies that are paternal,
Yes.
paternal societies, the man really absolutely benefits because the woman completely lives who she is and she takes on
yes.
your name,
your
and
people,
gives you children, and your children will keep your name and they will keep going. So I think so that the men just benefit, but the society benefits. It's the society that benefits, depending how you interpret it.
Dr. C, the Bible says that your people shall be my
People.
So the Bible is very clear that for us, if you get married, the woman should assume your name and that she ceases to be, from wherever she is, she becomes part of this other family.
So it's your benefit.
Yes.
It's
When
your
you use
benefit,
that,
really.
When he uses that, I'm going to say this. The Bible also talks about a man shall leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife.
Yes.
Okay? So you decide when you take that road, it's almost like it's almost like a property to you, you know, because I'm taking up your name. Everything is just you. But in essence, it's also God has also, when he was creating marriage, it is for you to leave your mother and father, and also I leave my father and mother, and be one. Okay? So this whole thing of now deciding that now I was the one who's married into your family, as if now I don't even have a family of origin to begin with.
But if you married to where I come from, you become my family.
Now that's a whole matter of tradition then.
You have to,
but that's fine. That is not in contention. I am your family. Yeah. But does that mean that I no longer have ties with my family?
You
that
have ties.
No,
you have ties. But remember, when you will be referred to, that's why you find some people, when they tell you their names, you wonder, like Dr. C here, is an Israeli.
She's her name is hyphenated.
She's Jewish. She's Jewish.
Well, we became Catholics as practicing Christianity.
Yes.
Catholics. But yes, my daughter, yes.
Is Jewish.
She's got,
So that's the difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
So does it feel like you're gaining more from that whole thing?
Of course you gain more because you'll have mini yous all over.
There you have it. Men gain more from
marriage.
And on that
it depends. The society gains more. The society has so much more to gain, and the human race gains because then there's procreation. There's a very systematic way in which we're going to pass on. The success of any nation depends on the family unit. And when you have strong family units, then you have a very strong nation.
That's true.
I think that's how we should look at it.
And then on that note, Georgina, isn't that why, if women still do not understand why they don't feel appreciated, doesn't it then make sense why she lives with the money? She will take the money, she will take the houses, the material stuff, then it's goodbye.
Georgina, take us to a break then.
Sorry?
Take us to a break.
Yes.
Oh my God, all right. So you're watching Let's Be Real. I'm hoping that you're following the conversation. And if you are, on our social medias is where you're going to leave your comments and your feedback. In a moment, we'll be right back.
Welcome back. We've been having a very, very interesting conversation. Let's Be Real is a home of great, great conversation. And of course, we have the team we have today. Of course, Georgina has brought in a new vibe, new views. And of course, Collins and our beautiful Dr. C. As usual, remember we have a beautiful wine. Dr. C, this is Samantha wine. I'm a teetotaler, by the way, but I'll recommend pick a glass or pick a bottle.
And chill it before you drink.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Guys, let's move on to with the next topic. Yeah? I saw Kabiwa Jesus the other day, and the wife, she's called Millie. She's called Millie wa Jesus.
Millie wa
Yes,
Jesus.
Millie wa Jesus. Kabi was complaining that the wife complimented. There's an American actor we call Keith Powers, and the wife was saying, this guy looks hot. So it begs the question that if you're married, are you allowed to compliment the opposite sex? And is it fine?
Well, she's
or is
not
it
blind.
Precisely. Does marriage
So
make you
Georgina, you are itching.
She's itching.
blind? Does marriage make you blind? Does it though? Like when I say I do, and then we're husband and wife. No, I'm blind. Now I can't see anybody else. Oh my God, I can't. Where are you? What? Come on, it is human nature. We are attracted to nice things, true or false?
True.
Whether it's people, whether it's things, okay? So if I'm gonna look at Dr. C's dress, did I compliment it? I did, you know? And if
That doesn't mean you want
that
to
doesn't
rip
mean
it
I
off
want it,
her
that
and
doesn't mean,
put
you
it
know,
on you.
it's just a beautiful dress. So if I see a man with a beautiful face, I mean, it's a beautiful face, and I'm going to say it, you know? Now, if my man has some insecurities and jealousy, and first of all, Keith, I mean, he's in America, really, I mean, come
Right,
on now.
but my
And
dear,
what's the
16.
most I can do?
But you know, my dear, it's you know, this is something I'm even trying to teach my young little girl.
Yeah.
It is not what you say.
It
It is how you say it. I think so that if you're saying it and you're drooling over, you know, like for example, Elvis Presley, he was known for going to grab women's behinds, like that.
That's it.
And you know, like, it's
What the
So
Me
it's-
Too is happening.
yeah. So you are with your better half, and you see this beautiful girl,
Yeah.
or with your husband, and he sees this girl, and then he turns. He's obviously like making it so obvious.
Yeah.
So I think that it's not the fact that but it's maybe how she said it.
There's a thin line, again. There's
Yes.
a thin line between being expressive and also disrespectful, yeah? I need to be very respectful of my relationship, not to rub it in, I wish unaweza kuwa oh my God.
Especially
you
if
know?
your partner is not the kind to
Back
handle
on
those kind of
Kardashian.
jokes.
Exactly, you know? It's okay to just, you know, brush it off. Like, my husband knows I absolutely love Chris Brown. I've never met him in person. I love his art, you know, but I'm not going to talk about him 24/7. You get me? Like, I like Chris Brown, and that's just it. But I feel like it's the respect that we have for each other that I'm not going to necessarily oogle at men simply because I like them with a six-pack and you don't. No.
But the question is, guys, I think women, as we can understand our women saying that Nani looks nice, or this and this, when that question is reversed, that a man is complimenting another woman, you know, women are very territorial. It
Because
doesn't
we
work.
know each
She
other.
goes ballistic.
Yeah.
Listen, this thing, I think we have to categorize it. For men, do not try and see that thing Millie wa Jesus said.
If you
And
want peace.
If you want peace in
Yes.
that house.
You don't want problems.
Because for the
Yes.
next 10 years, you'll be told, so you go to
I'll
that
remind
woman, you're
you.
saying she's nice. She said she has a nice dress.
Sio, hii glass ni safi ama unataka kuoshewa na
Now,
Beyonce.
yeah, so, do not be cheated. Do not be cheated that thing applies to men.
Wataka uite Beyonce kutoka America.
Yeah, go and call Beyonce to come and make it.
Nimevaa vizuri ama ingekaa better on Beyonce. Meanwhile, it's 5 years later and you're like, what is happening?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well,
So it doesn't apply.
There used to be this guy on one of the beer companies, someone Powers. You remember?
Michael Power.
Michael Powers. I just remember I was obsessed with this guy.
And
My husband knew. But it wasn't in a... I remember when
But you
he
said
came to
international.
Kenya. When
Yes.
he came to Kenya.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we were invited for, this is many years ago. I remember going with my husband, and I remember like taking a photo with him.
Michael Power, yes.
And I thought I was disappearing.
But then Dr. C,
But
that's
my husband
proximity.
understood.
Yes.
My husband understood.
Yeah.
It's not even sexual.
No.
It wasn't
It's just
like that.
a fantasy in your mind, like a dream. It's
And
a
he was
mirage.
happy
you're
for
just-
me, and
Yes.
he,
Yes.
it's just a fantasy. I never had anything else, but
Anything tangible.
tangible. But this is the celebrity that I do really
Yeah.
remember that I was. Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
I don't know.
But then, does proximity also contribute to that feeling, the jealousy? Because if someone wants Beyonce and she's all the way abroad,
But
or
Michael Powers was here.
versus a friend, but a friend in your circle. Imagine you telling your husband that, hey, CEO,
Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
That would definitely be.
Hey, actually, I'm a bit. It's like a crush.
Hey. You see
That's
somebody
gosh.
like Michael Powers and Chris Brown. Wow, you guys.
Gosh.
On the real, somebody like Michael Powers and Chris Brown, like you met him once. I've never met Chris Brown.
Yes.
So every fantasy that I have is just in my head.
Yeah.
And there's something that we keep saying, never meet your crush, but then they'll never meet your expectations.
Yes, I
Ah,
know.
watoto kubo, you understand?
Yes.
So there's nothing. There's really, it's quite, there's nothing to it.
So try this. Do you
Understand?
jog in the estate where you live? Because you look like you live in a gated community, I'm just saying.
I do sometimes.
Do you jog? Have you ever seen a neighbor and then you're like, oh my God, look at that neighbor.
It's a
How
setup.
did you?
That's a setup.
So you should never.
I plead the fifth.
Oh.
So I think it's
But-
mindsets.
Yeah,
You know.
it's a mindset,
Yeah.
but also remember, if you're a man out there, please do not say those things.
Don't verbalize
Oh,
it.
Don't even verbalize
Yeah.
it.
The rules are
Don't
different.
don't
Yeah.
check out that person you think is looking hot
Yep.
and in a manner to suggest that your wife will see.
Yeah.
Because the game is not played the same way they play the game. The game is different.
It's unfortunate, but that's true.
Oh, very unfortunate. That's why men wear sunglasses, right? All the married men have sunglasses.
Yes, you must
In
wear.
retrospect. Like
Yes.
Nameless has never taken his glasses off.
Oh, that's
Like-
he's just checking,
No,
he's just checking out his other women out there.
No, yours, not mine. But
Next.
most of the happily married men I've seen always have sunglasses and hats on.
Okay.
Yeah. So now,
So let's move to the next topic.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of this guy, and I'll have to check, because this was such a mind-boggling story. The moment I saw it, I'm thinking, are we doing this? How old is this guy? So there's a man who just launched a crying challenge. You had that right, crying, in a bid to enter into the Guinness World Records. So now, Dr. C and CEO and our guest Georgina, for me, I'm just done with this story. I'm only doing it because the producer is like, if you don't do this, you're leaving. I honestly, I'm done with this story. I think it's psychotic. What do you think is leading young people to be obsessed with all of these challenges? Oh my God, I have the longest nails. Oh my God, I've eaten the biggest ice cream tub in one. You've seen those mukbangs
I
or
have.
something.
Yeah.
Why,
Yeah.
Dr. C? You as a doctor, tell me, what are we doing wrong as parents?
Because it's not about what we are doing wrong. It's about the current society we are living in.
The social media
Yeah,
society.
you know, there's a generation that is just like goats. Have you seen how goats are being herded? If you say this is the direction we are going, and we are all
Oh,
just
yeah.
going there.
Yeah.
So I want to say that the young people now, the generation is clued onto trends. Yeah, we are seeing everywhere. Is it trending on Twitter? Oh, I'm trending today. In fact, it's even expected of brands. Let's just go basic.
Yeah.
If you stand there and say, we are the leading brand in this and this and this and this, then immediately people want to go and see, so what is it you're posting?
Yes.
Is it trending? Are you having followers? So there's a thing called social proof.
Yes.
Social proof. How many people? It's about influence. What is the influence that you have? Is anyone even listening to you at all? And it's about how the society is actually getting recalibrated. Yeah?
So we are growing
It is-
desperate to get the receipt.
So
that
now,
proof.
yes, and
the
now,
social-
you know, when you look at all these social media companies, a company even how Twitter started, we had a few people like Oprah jumping on, then Oprah is also doing it.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
also going to
They
do
had
it.
to endorse it.
So that
and
is
then
called social proof.
Oh, yeah.
And therefore, that's why, you know, there's even been very dangerous challenges where even people like stop to breathe. Like, how long can you stop to breathe?
Oh, yeah.
For young people, and we've had young people actually dying.
And the ice bucket
This
thing.
dare thing,
Yeah.
you know?
And eating live like octopus.
Yeah.
He calls it psychotic. You talk about social proof. I'm going to keep it very simple. Live and let live. Okay? So what happens to things like personal achievements? Yeah? If somebody's going to sit down and say, you know what, I want to achieve this, and I'm going to do it. It doesn't matter how ridiculous it looks or sounds to you. That's what he wants to do. We had a chef who went on, was it a 72, the Nigerian chef?
Yes.
So many hours cooking different meals.
I never understood that thing.
You see, and I don't
So
need
what
to
may
understand
happen?
that, but we don't really need to understand that. If that's something personal, a goal that they have set, and they're not hurting anybody in the process, let live. Let anybody, everybody shines differently, okay?
Yeah.
And it might look crazy because
I just
I
don't
wouldn't
get it,
set my camera and
Well,
start crying,
Georgina, no,
and
no,
then
no,
I
no,
time. I think no, it's true. It doesn't need to make sense to me because you want to set a record for
But he won't
your
get-
own
he won't
personal
be
gain.
dehydrated.
It's not
He
really
might need
personal.
a
That's
saline.
why I think in the same line, before I give you the time to talk, at the same time, we are looking at things like, for example, why do we want awards? Why do human beings want awards? Once you understand that, you will understand why we do championships, why you want to be in the book of records, yeah? It's the same track of thinking. What did you want to say?
What I wanted to say is that we have to compartmentalize things. First of all, there are things which are done which are beneficial to the society. And there are things which are done which actually, if you tell, and also culture plays a very big role. Where you come from, the games you play, the things you do, the food you eat, the way you view things. Remember that you view life in your cultural perspective and your environment. So when a person decides, for example, to go out there and decide that I want to be in the Guinness Book of Records, I want to eat a spider.
To eat the biggest
To eat
ugali.
it's madness. And this madness.
Oh, it's madness to me,
who?
but good to...
It's madness.
Who?
To society.
Why?
We are a child of society.
Are they complaining that you've sat down and eaten the biggest spider?
No. That's why there's law and order.
But see, you ought to think so that we had something called in our community.
Okay,
Yes.
Dad.
We had something called.
I've said this.
Yes, Father.
We have said this thing before, Dr. C. We've said that the world, the Western world or the world we are living in has changed so many things. A glutton, for example, nowadays is being called a foodie. You are just a glutton.
Oh my God.
Okay, I agree with that, yes.
A glutton has transcended
Yeah.
to be something very nice in society, where food you're supposed to share with the community. You eat and you say, you know me, I'm a foodie.
Hashtag mukbang.
What
Foodie,
nonsense is
and
that?
just eating and just being
That
gluttonous.
is nonsense. It's being gluttonous. We must call things out the way they are.
For what they are.
Yes, for what they are. We can't just say, oh, you know me, I sleep. Oh, me, I like studio. No. Go and work.
So we've decided that this guy who's going to have a marathon of crying is mad and psychotic.
It's
Okay,
psychotic.
I call him
Okay, I
humorous.
wish him-
I say he has a really nice sense of humor, a crazy sense of humor.
I
How
wish
about
him
that?
well. I
wish
hope
him
he
well.
hydrates. Like get a saline drip. Will he need a drip if you cry? For how long can a human cry without
Eye drops also.
falling up? Oh, I see. And onions. And
And
also tap
onions,
into your
yes.
childhood trauma.
So if all of us are going to
People
view
are
life
looking for
differently-
relevance. People are
Yes.
looking for relevance. And I think he's looking for relevance. And, you know, human beings, I think what has kept our species going is the fact that there's the sense of novelty. We want new things, how to do things differently, challenging ourselves
And to be
in how we
rewarded for
can
being
do.
the best.
And we've done some crazy things. Like,
Yes.
you know, this thing of, there used to be this thing of who's going to fall the other. It's almost like wrestling,
Yeah.
but people would go to the town center
Yes.
and undress, and you know there would be the mud, and then they want to throw each other. Things
Judo.
like bullfighting. What is that you're actually, and you're deriving
cockfighting,
pleasure
yes.
out of it?
Yeah.
So some things get outlived, some others, but it's just about the novelty and how we want to do things differently. We want to push the envelope. And yeah, some things are insane, like that one. Anyway, on that note, thank you. It's been real. We've had amazing conversations, friendships, laughter, elegance. Thank you for joining us. And I'm Dr. C. You can find us at Samantha Wines, or if you're looking for me, at Dr. Catherine Masitsa Rosa on Instagram, Twitter, and all the social media channels at Samantha's Bridal. Thank you.
All right, I've been Georgina Mbera. Thank you so much, Dr. C, CEO, and Collins, for having me today. I've had such an amazing time. Again, follow me, Georgina Mbera, on Threads, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and yeah, let's see each other some other time.
Thank you for watching. Of course, today we had a very enlightening conversations. There are things which were there for you to pick out. Don't just compliment your neighbors. Don't when your wife or your husband is there. Don't overdrool on somebody, Georgina's view. But don't also meet your crush. You'll be under what? Underwhelmed. I'm CEO Charles Otieno. You can catch me on Twitter, CEO Charles Otieno. You can catch me on Instagram, CEO Otieno. On Facebook, CEO Charles Otieno. Remember, we keep it real. It's always to be real. Keep it real yourself.
And you see, for me, every time I sit here, especially on this particular show, I am getting closer to the decision that I will not get married. But you know what? I'll ponder on that tonight. Thank you so much for keeping us company. My name is Collins. I am at Willie Collins, MUA, on all social media platforms. There you can get makeup products, makeup services, my cashew nuts, macadamia nuts, and like we say in Embu, Otuko Mwega, which means good night.
Good night.